Let's try this one.
And not somebody else dictating to you how to do your thing, which you know how to do better than anybody else.
Or two. You know what else makes me ill? When you are cleaning up your refuse from the greenhouse carefully, which includes dead plants amongst pots. And you go away and you come back and everything is gone. And then, when it's finally revealed what happened after much denial of any knowledge of anything going on, and I'm talking about in this person anyway, is in their own house, our house. But all of these things were in half of the greenhouse, inside these sacks, and there are others. Now this is, besides this is saved, I still have to go through. There's stakes, there's hangers, there's mounts. There's wooden bags that were all tossed, as well as this stuff was tossed that I have saved. Bear in mind, if you know me, I am one that recycles. And cork is getting harder and harder to find, cork mounts. So I reuse them, and I have never sterilized. I even mount with a dead plant on top of it, roots. Sometimes you just can't pry it away. But this makes me ill when someone who doesn't even know how to water a plant, because every time they do, it sits in the tray of water, which eventually leaks out onto the carpet or onto the wood floor, or also the dog goes in and licks the water out of. So you can imagine what has leached. I tell you. So these have been gone through and disposed of. There's delicate as possible, but you can see a lot of that. See, I've given up because it's just frustrating. And I have a lot of, anyway, but when you are 60, you see how I said that tentatively because I can't believe it. You have to realize your limitations, which, I've been talking about this since I was in my 30s. Heck. But this is something that makes me hurt more. Undoing what somebody did who feels justified. It's, let me see if I can prove my, I'm still looking, and I know we're going to be looking at blooms pretty soon, so. Y'all know I'm an eBay junkie, and you have to be if you are an orchid junkie. You have to look everywhere. It's a constant orchid hunt. And just like we gravitate to certain vendors, I'm here sitting here looking at a list. In my right hand, it's a pink list of plants such as Epidendrum nutans, then Alexandra, Ras nodosa times.
And I'm crushing the Epidendrum because I don't want that. Then there's the nutans, Alexandra.
These are plants that have been purchased from my favorite orchid hunter. I'm sure he's one of you alls as well. But in any event, I am looking today, as I always do, at Marble KG. Very well known and constantly changing seller. Wide variety. Big plants to small plants. If you know his routine, in the winter, he often offers no named, no IDs. What do you call them? Divisions of plants that don't have tags, but they're cheap. And as you can see, I am looking down the list. He's got these big Cattleya trinis. Then there's a Cattleya maxima that's 150. It's a nice size. It's decent size. And they're such variety. This is a $30 Lanceanum. And I want that so bad. Look at those spots, the leaves. I want that. $30. And sometimes you can get multiple plants and save on the shipping, as that's not a secret. But my question is, and this is year round, there are some nurseries that are evidently, as always, as like our greenhouses do, it shuts down and some things are blooming, some things are not. Tragedies happen where you lose plants, whatever the case. It's constantly evolving, and it's how did Ruben describe it? It's a living microorganism that's constantly changing every second of the day. But this is a $40 previously bloomed, you can see there are spikes, Spotted Queen, Trick or Treat. I don't know about that being $80. Glorious May. Now this used to be a plant that was, well, it's probably still a bag baby, but that's pretty high. But my question is, where do these plants come from? This guy from every person that I know that knows this person hates him. Hates him. But I guess this could just be his collection. But from what I hear, first of all, you shouldn't buy from him because he's a jerk and a cheat. And I'm saying this based on what I have heard. This is allegedly, I should say, because I still buy from him and I just am fascinated. Where do the plants come from? It's just a constant evolving, daily, hourly changing. Where do they come from? Is there a secret auction that I'm not aware of? I'm sure that there's one that I've heard of in Hawaii that is to do with the imports that are received from Asia, those mass-produced hybrids. I'm not talking about those. These are not... Is there a tree that I don't know about that only when you put down roots? Because, again, I just left there and I Googled, and no, there were a few nurseries that came up, but having left and communicated with people, find out that there's nurseries around the block and here, there, and everywhere that I went past and had no idea. There's no signage. You just have to know. That gives me a headache. Is it 4:20?
Maria Young. Now, if you guys remember correctly, just about a week ago, we went on such a wonderful, magical orchid treasure discovery down a road in Apopka that had so many orchid nurseries. I want to say there were between 20 to 30 different nurseries down that road, okay? And we were fortunate enough that First Orchids allowed us to come in, even though they only do wholesale to other businesses. They actually allowed us to come in so that we, all of us, could see the wonderful orchids that they had there at First Orchids. So definitely I want to thank Max for being that kind of orchid lover to be nice enough to do such a thing. Mwah! Much love to you guys, and of course you guys get 2 green thumbs up. If you guys also remember, about a week ago, I did tell you guys that I was going to be doing an orchid haul, right? I did tell you guys that. So indeed, that is what we're going to do, is I'm going to give you the fabulous orchid haul that we did on our orchid hunting adventure, our treasure hunt, which of course I discovered many jewels, as you guys can see. But before I begin this wondrous orchid haul, I definitely want to give a shout out to some special people, the people that I consider a part of my orchid adventure familia. Definitely want to recognize you guys for showing me your love, your support, and of course always tuning into my orchid adventure. Mwah, 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 mwah. So here we go. I want to give a shout out to KB Orchids, Once Upon an Orchid, The Passionate Gardener, Orchids is Meditation, Irina's Garden, Archie's Orchids, Emma Sina, Rio Roque, Desmond PT, Michael K, and Diamond Blight Orchids. Again, thank you guys so much for becoming a part of my
So that very same day, I got to my orchid hunter who lives there, who was going there, and I said, please try to get me a deal on that golden sunburst and get another plant for me as well. But get the plant, the lenticular first, and then see how much you can get for that golden sunburst. And I said, I don't want to pay any more than $200 because they were all $330. About an hour later, he sent me this photo and said that all of them, there were only a few that were $330, and there were some that were $175, and then there were some that were $80. So I went through the whole shenanigans of which plant was which, since this was all done over the phone and texting photos. But that is a lesson learned, which is a pet peeve, to tell you, to explain how useful it is to rub
on a tree, and I was just captivated.
those in the know down in the Florida, tightly kept, tightly protected, very cliquey community. So that is a peeve of mine. But in this time, I was able to break through and benefit. But trust me, this does not happen often. The people, the vendors, the hobbyists that are down there definitely get dibs, which sucks. And the majority of these people are from the north anyway. Bye, girl.